So let us start with a small problem. The problem is as follows. We have a number of resistances connected like this, and the values are like 20 ohm, 30 ohm, 16 ohm, and then there is a voltage source. Let this be 100 volt. The question is solve this circuit. Okay, solve this circuit means find out all the currents everywhere. So yeah, please have some patience. So how much is the current here, 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 etc. Okay, so how will you solve it? One way is you combine these combine these resistances. So if you consider this 20 ohm and this 30 ohm resistance in parallel, then you can get one single resistance whose value will be 20 into 30 by 20 plus 30 ohm, and then these two resistances 16 and 16, they are in parallel, same value, so they are equivalent to one resistance of 8 ohm. Okay,
8.
Yeah, this is 8, and this is how much? This will be 12 ohm. Yeah, excellent.
Sir,
Yeah, so current will be, you are right, current will be 100
5
divided by 20, which is 5 ampere.
5.
Yeah, so you are absolutely right. So this will be 5 ampere. But we also have to find out this, this currents individually.
that will be 2 ampere in 20 ohm,
Yes.
3 ampere in 30 ohm, 2.5
Opposite.
ampere in 16, and 2.5 ampere in 16.
Yeah, so it will be like this. So this 5 ampere current will get equally distributed between these two equal resistances. So this current will be half of 5, that means 2.5 ampere. This will be 2.5 ampere. But here, how much will be the current? If I call this I1,
3 ampere and 20
I-
ampere.
2
ampere and 2 ampere.
3 ampere.
right, you are right, you are right.
I1
So
is
this-
3.
I1 is 3 and
You are absolutely right. If we apply current divider rule, we will get here 2 ampere, and here we will get 3 ampere.
3 ampere.
3.
Larger current through the smaller resistance, and smaller current through the larger resistance. Okay, but now let me, okay, so this problem was very simple for all of you as it stands out. Let me now give you a slightly difficult problem. Okay, so it is similar but not exactly same. Okay, so let there be one extra resistance here, and let me choose these values as 30 ohm, 30 ohm, and 30 ohm, 10 ohm, and 20 ohm. Okay, Acha. And let this voltage be 110 volt. Now again the question is same. Solve the circuit, find out all the currents, how much is the current here, 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 everywhere. So how will you do it? This is not very easy to do, I guess. So let me tell you how to solve this problem. There is a trick.
star
Yeah,
and
yes,
delta.
Delta star conversion.
Yes, delta star conversion. So let me tell you what delta star conversion is, because this may be a new topic for you. Okay, so it is like this. Suppose we have 3 resistances connected in the form of a triangle. Okay, and let me call these 3 vertices or nodes as node A, node B, and node C, and let these 3 resistances be P, Q, and R. Okay, we can show, and we will show, that this configuration is equivalent to this configuration where three resistances are connected in the form of a star, such that this end is node B, this end is node C, and here is node A. And let me call these three resistances as X, Y, and Z, such that the values of X, Y, and Z are related to P, Q, and R as follows. X, this resistance, is equal to the product of P and Q divided by sum of P plus Q plus R. Okay, and similarly Y will be same denominator, P plus Q plus R, but the numerator will be the product of these two resistances, P and R. Okay, resistances which are adjacent to the same node B, P and R. And in the same way, what will be Z? Can you guess? Z will be
QR divided
QR
divided by P plus Q plus R.
Yes, P plus Q plus R. You're right. So, we can say that if three resistances are connected in the form of this triangle, we call this a delta configuration because it looks like the Greek alphabet delta. And this configuration is called a star configuration. Okay, then if three resistances P, Q, and R are connected in the form of a delta, this is equivalent to three resistances X, Y, and Z connected in the form of a star, where the values of X, Y, and Z are given by these three equations. What do we mean by that these two configurations are equivalent? What is the meaning of this equivalence? It means
Potentials of each point.
Similar to
Potentials of each point are same.
absolutely right. If it means that in any circuit, if you have these three resistances connected like this, if you replace them with these three resistances in that circuit, then the remaining portion of that bigger circuit will remain unaltered, unchanged. That is one way of saying that. Another way of saying that is like this. Suppose if we apply three voltages, say VA, VB, three potentials, and VC in these three nodes, and if we apply the same three potentials, VA, VB, and VC in these three nodes, then whatever currents are flowing here, suppose here the current is IA, then here also the current will be IA. If the current here is IB, here also the current will be IB. If the current here is IC, the current here will also be IC. I can also say this in a reverse manner, that if I pass these three currents IA, IB, and IC in this configuration, then if the potentials that or the potential differences that appear between node A and B, B and C and A, the same potentials will also appear in this configuration between A and B, B and C and A, if same currents are flowing. Okay, that is the meaning of equivalence. Another way, as I previously said, if in any circuit, if you have this configuration, you can replace that by this configuration, and the rest of the circuit will remain unaffected. It's also true in the opposite manner. If you have this configuration, you can replace that with this configuration. Okay, provided the values of X, Y, and Z are related to P, Q, and R with these three equations. Now, how did we get these three equations? How did we get these three relations? How can we derive this? Let me give you a hint, and you can finish this derivation at home later, but let me give you some hint. Okay, so first of all, if these two configurations are equivalent, then if we measure the potential between the resistance between node A and B in this configuration, okay, say resistance between A and B, how much is that here? That is P parallel Q plus R. P parallel Q plus R. And that is equal to P multiplied by Q plus R divided by P plus Q plus R. That is the resistance between A and B in the delta configuration. Okay, and if this is also equivalent, then the resistance between A and B in this star configuration should also be same, and that value is nothing but X plus Y. Okay, in the same manner, suppose if we look at the resistance between A and C, then that is Q parallel P plus R. Q parallel P plus R, which will be equal to Q multiplied by P plus R divided by P plus Q plus R, and then that should be equal to, in this circuit, X plus Z. Okay, in the same manner, if we consider node B and C, what will we get? We will get between B and C here R multiplied by P plus Q divided by P plus Q plus R. That should be equal to Y plus Z. Now you see we have three equations, 1, 2 and 3. Now from these three equations, if we add all of this, equation 1 plus 2 plus 3, then in the right side we will get 2 times X plus Y plus Z. And in the left side, if you add all these three quantities, then the denominator will be P plus Q plus R, and the numerator will be, you have PQ, PR, QP, all these product terms comes twice. So you will get 2 times PQ plus QR plus RP. Okay, now from this equation, now you can cancel this 2 and this 2, call this equation number 4. Now if you say subtract equation 4 minus equation 3, what will you get? X plus Y plus Z minus Y plus Z,
The value of X.
value of X.
X.
And that you will get PQ by P plus Q
So the
plus.
value which you are going.
Yeah,
By P plus.
absolutely right. Okay, so in this way you can get how much is Y, how much is Z, etc. Okay, so that will be your homework. And now once you know the values of these values, of X, Y and Z in terms of P, Q and R, you can also get the values of P, Q and R in terms of X, Y and Z. I'm just telling you the values. It will be something like this. It will be XY plus YZ plus ZX whole divided by so it's like this. So product of all pairs XY, YZ, ZX, and then when you are finding the value of P, you have to divide that with the resistance opposite to P here, which is Z. Okay, so that will be like this, divided by z. In the same way, q will be xy plus yz plus zx divided by
Why?
whichever is in the opposite position to q, which is y. You are right. So divided by y. And in the same way, this will be xy plus yz plus zx, and it will be divided by x. Now you can verify these equations very easily by putting the values of x, y and z in this. Just put the values, multiply, divide, you will get this equal to pq. So this is also your homework to prove.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, why the resistance between A and B in star configuration is x plus y?
Between
The
node
same-
A and B, right? So
Yes.
yeah. So here we are considering that we are measuring the resistance between these two nodes, keeping the third node untouched or open. Okay. Yeah, I should write that. Node C, we call it floating. Nothing is connected. Okay, so nothing is, so it's like you are applying a voltage from, let me draw it with a different color. Suppose you are applying a voltage between these two nodes and measuring how much current is flowing here, okay, with this node unconnected, floating, okay. So
Okay, sir.
yeah, that's what, yeah, very good point. I forgot to mention that, okay. Yeah, so without if I don't tell this, it remains incomplete. Yeah, and same thing is true. So here node B floating, and so on. Yes.
Sir, is there in these situations, is it possible to avoid forming these star and delta formations? Is like, can we avoid using these formulas?
So you have basically two questions. One question
Like
is
using,
one
like by
question.
using
Yeah,
Kirchhoff's law.
I got your point. Yeah, one question is, can we solve a circuit without using this star delta conversion? The answer is yes. And very soon we will learn other methods, general methods with which you can solve any circuit without doing any conversion. Yes, answer is yes. Another,
Sir, the last question we can solve with Kirchhoff's law.
yes, this question also you can solve using Kirchhoff's law. And answer should come same. Okay? Acha. So let me just very quickly solve this question using delta star or star delta conversion, which we have learned just now. Okay? Acha.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, do you understand Bengali?
I do.
স্যার মানে আমার প্রশ্নটা হচ্ছে যে যখন আমরা ওই এ আর বিটার মধ্যে আমরা মেজার করছি তখন সিটাকে ফ্লোটিং রাখছি,
Hmm.
কিন্তু স্যার আমরা যখন আবার এই প্রবলেমটাতে যখন ক্যালকুলেট করছি তখন তো আবার সিটা ফ্লোটিং থাকছে না, তাহলে কি মানে
Very good question.
তাহলে
Very good
problem?
question. Yeah, so let me translate what he is asking. So he's saying that when we derived these formulas for x, y and z, we assumed that one node is floating and we are measuring the resistance between the other two nodes. Whereas in this circuit, it is not that, when we will convert it, that any node is floating. Okay, so that is this doubt. My answer is as follows. To derive these three relations, we have used, okay, let me tell it in this way. Okay, suppose these two star and delta are equivalent. It means that if we apply three different voltages, VA, VB and VC here, and same three voltages here, then the currents here IA, IB and IC will be same as these three currents IA, IB and IC. It means if in any circuit if you find this delta configuration, you can replace it with the star configuration, and in the remaining circuit nothing will change. That is the most general meaning of this equivalence. However, to derive the relation between XYZ and PQR, we have not used that most general situation of equivalence. We have used very specific situations when only this, say A and B is connected to a voltage source and the third one is kept open, okay, and so on. So that is a specific situation of the most general situation, and that gave us these three relations, okay. So however we can prove, but we will not prove now because we don't have that much time. We can prove that if these three relations are obeyed, then under any general three voltages A, B, and any general circuit configuration, they are equivalent from the perspective that whatever you connect between among A, B, and C outside, if you connect same things here among A, B, and C, then outside circuit will not see any difference between the star and delta. Okay, so we have used only a very specific connection where only one voltage source is connected to derive these relations. However, these three relations also imply, which we are not proving, but they also imply that under any general circuit configuration, I mean, if you connect anything from outside in this delta, and if you connect the same thing outside in this star, they will not see any change. Okay? So is my answer? Okay. Yeah. But we will not prove it now, but if time permits later we will.
Sir, then how will apply this principle to the last question?
This question, right? So
yes, sir.
Yeah, so let us do that. Okay, let us do that. So you can do it also in different ways. What I will do is this. You see, we have three nodes, 1, 2, and 3. You can call it A, B, and C. So we will convert this, 1 minute please. We will convert these three resistances connected in delta into a star configuration as follows. Okay, like this. 1, 2, and 3. So we will remove this original 30 ohm resistances with new resistances like this. So let me redraw freshly. Okay, so this will be A, this will be B, this will be C. Achha, now what will be the value of this resistance? That means this resistance, that will be
10.
30 into 30 divided by 30 plus 30 plus 30. Okay, so it's like 30 into 30 divided by 30 plus 30 plus 30, which will be 10. 10. In the same way, this will also be 10. This will also be 10. Okay, and then the remaining things I will keep as it is. 10, 20.
So may I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Sir, was he saying that while connecting between A and B, we are assuming that no other connections are made at C?
Right.
It's just...
Right.
Oh, so sir, I'm not still able to understand how general this formula is. How are we just...
Okay, so I am claiming or stating without proving that this formula is absolutely general in the sense that whatever you want to connect between these three nodes, I mean, you connect maybe you connect here a current source, maybe here you connect a resistance, okay, and you connect the same three things here, same resistance. So this resistance should be same as this, then this source should be same as this source, and this voltage should be same as this voltage. Okay, anything, and you can connect even complicated things, maybe one more resistance, then you also connect the same resistance. Okay, any complicated thing if you connect, but the same thing you connect here as well as here. Okay, then in the outside circuit, that means in this blue circuit, nothing will be
The-
different. Okay, so if this current is I1, here also same current I1 will flow. If this current is I2, here also same current I2 will flow. Okay, whatever you connect outside in this delta formation, same thing you connect in the outside part of this star formation, and in the outside part, no difference will be observed. Okay, and one
Okay, so the things which will not change are just the currents in every branch and the voltages at every point, right?
every part outside this star
Yeah,
and
yeah,
delta.
outside that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, is this related to superposition? Like we are neglecting the floating node in each step and then we are adding it.
It is
Like,
related. It is related. I will just say it is related, but I will not elaborate because I guess many students will not understand this at this moment. Okay. So we will study that later.
Sir, if you go to the bottommost slide, I have a question there.
Okay, but before that, let me just finish this problem and then I will
Okay.
come to. Okay. Acha. So once you do this, then the problem is easy. Okay. So this is 110, and then then this 10, so they together is 20 ohm. Here 20 and 30. So 20, 30 parallel is how much? 12. Okay. So 12. So do I have more space? No. Let me. Acha. So then this becomes equivalent to this 10 ohm, and then 20 parallel 30 is 12 ohm.
12, yes.
Okay, so then this is 110 and volt. So then this current will be how much? 5.
5 amp.
5 amp. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then now the problem is not complete. The problem is not complete because we have to find this individual currents. Okay. So how much will be this current? If it is I1, this will be same as this I1. Right? So in this circuit, how much is I1?
Sir, I1 is
10 by.
So
0.5 amp.
we have 5 ampere here. So part of 5 ampere goes through this 20 ohm resistance. So how much is that? That will be 5. Yes, multiplied by 30 divided by 20 plus 30. So that will be 3 ampere. Okay. So this will be 3 ampere. And the right side will be
2 ampere.
2 ampere.
2 amperes.
Absolutely right. But how much is this current? If I call it I2, is I2 same as this current?
No, sir, I2 is
2.5.
Right. So this is not
7.5.
I2. Okay. So don't make
No,
this
sir.
mistake. This is not I2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So to
Sir, that
find
is 7 by 3 or 2.6.
yeah. So to find I2, you have to do it in different ways. How you can do it? Acha. So if this is I1, which is 3 ampere, then now if I take this point as my say 0 volt reference.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Then-
I2 equals to 5 by 2.
Let me see. Let me see.
Sorry.
and then
Yeah, so let us do it. So we have 3 ampere multiplied by 10. So please have some patience. So this potential will be 30 volt. Okay, and this potential will be 2 ampere multiplied by 20. So this will be 40 volt. Okay, so now this is 40 volt, and this point is at 110 volt. Okay, this is 110 volt, this is 40 volt, this is 30 volt. Now you can find how much is this current and how much is I2. Okay, then it is easy. Okay, so that, yeah,
Delta, then we'll use the voltages at the node.
yes.
Okay.
You can solve it in different ways. I'm just solving one possible way. Okay, somebody.
Sir,
had
I2 is 2.5.
I2 will be
7 upon 3 into
8 by 3.
7 upon 3.
8 by 3.
8 by 7 upon 3.
8 by 3, yes.
8 by 3.
Okay, very good. Okay.
But sir, what is the sense of symmetry? Should I2 not be divided equally in both the branches, 30 ohm, 30 ohm each?
No,
It's not completely
no, no,
symmetric.
no.
Because
You see the original.
Potential difference is not same across the 30 ohm resistance in the
Hmm.
middle.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
sir, I got it.
Okay,
Sorry, sir.
yeah, yeah. Very good. Excellent. So,
Sir,
yes.
Sir?
Yes.
I did not get how you conclude that it's 10 ohm. How did you solve that star configuration, sir?
This 10 ohm, na?
Yes, sir.
You see, so we are finding this resistance, which is basically, I'm drawing it here. So it is like product of the two adjacent resistances in the original delta, okay, 30 into 30 divided by sum of,
No, sir.
yes,
Sir, I got that, but I could not understand how you solved that star configuration and concluded the resultant to be 10 ohm.
this one,
And the next configuration, sir.
here, right? This in this,
Sir, in the third configuration, you
configuration,
concluded
yeah.
it's 10 ohm resistance.
right,
How?
yeah.
Sir,
So,
that thing I didn't
yeah. So here, this is point A. This point, if I call it, what can I call? Call it A, B, C, D. This is point D. Okay, between point A and D, what do we have? This 10 ohm directly, and from D to this bottom point, we have 10 and 10, 20 parallel 30. Okay, so this 12 is equal to 20 parallel 30. That is equal to 12. Okay, so if I call
Okay, sir, got it.
A,
Okay.
B, if I call it node E, this is node E. Okay, acha, fine.
And this delta stands for
Yes. Yes.
Sir, could you explain the final current distribution in each of the resistor?
Acha.
8 by 2, na?
Okay, so let me, so this total current is going to be 5 ampere. Okay, that means
yes, sir.
This current is also 5 ampere. Okay, this is 5 ampere, and this 5 ampere must return from here 5 ampere. Okay, acha. Then this 10 ohm resistance is same as this 10 ohm resistance. Okay, and this 20 ohm resistance is same as 20 ohm resistance. So whatever current we have here in this 10 ohm, that will be same as in this 10 ohm. So let us find what is the resistance, what is the current here. Okay, so here also we have 5 ampere, and then this 5 ampere is partly coming like this and partly coming like this. Now this part has a resistance of 20 ohm. This part has a resistance of 30 ohm. So now we can apply potential divider rule, current divider rule. So current divider rule will give us that this current is total current 5 multiplied by this opposite resistance, which is 30, divided by total resistance 20 plus 30. Okay, that comes out to be how much? 3.
3.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Sir?
Yeah.
If current is asked in the circuit, then I think there is no need of converting it into star delta conversion. We can directly solve it by assuming x and y, and
Yes, yes,
we can
there
solve it
are
from
many
there.
possible ways, but the purpose is that we just learned about star delta
Yes, sir.
conversion, so
Yes.
that's why we are, yeah, that's yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Let us move on. So let us briefly recapitulate what we have learned yesterday. And in any case, I will give you the video recordings later if there is any problem. Achha. So let us recapitulate what we learned briefly yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we saw two types of sources. One we call a voltage source, and the other is called a current source. Achha, voltage source, all of you are already familiar with. You have studied in school. So the symbols of a voltage source look like this. Okay, and we often call this as a battery also. The main property of a voltage source is that if the two ends of the source is called A and B, node A and node B, then voltage and if the value of this source is suppose E volt, okay, then the voltage of node A is E volt, or I should say potential actually. Potential of node A is E volt higher than that of node B. That is for sure. Okay, in any circuit, if you use this source, it is guaranteed that node A will be at higher potential than B, and the potential difference is given by E volt. That is the value of the source. However, how much current will flow through this? If I call this current I, how much will be I? I current depends on external circuit. Okay, so if we say connect a resistance whose value is R, then I will be equal to E by R, and that depends on R. Now if I change the value of R, the value of current will also change, but the potential difference will never change between node A and B. That is the property of a voltage source. In the same way, we have something new which we call a current source, and the symbol of a current source is like this, a circle with an arrow. For a current source, if the value is, say, I call it I naught ampere, then it is guaranteed that through this source the current will always be I naught ampere. So current through this is always I naught ampere. That is the value of the source. However, the voltage that appears across the two terminals A and B, that depends on what is connected across it. Okay, so the voltage depends on external circuit. Okay, so if I connect a resistance whose value is R, then this voltage across this, I can call it VAB, with upper side positive and lower side taken as negative, then VAB will be equal to I naught multiplied by R. Okay, and this value depends on R. If I change the value of R, the voltage will also change, but current will never change. This is what we have discussed yesterday. Now let me give you a small problem to check how much you understood. Suppose I have a voltage source and a current source connected like this with a resistance. Okay, and suppose this is
Sir,
10
you're not audible for a moment.
Okay, so I'm giving you a small problem. Okay, where we have a voltage source whose value is 10 volt and a current source whose value is say 2 ampere, and suppose there is a resistance which is suppose 4 ohm, and I ask you to solve this circuit. Solving circuit means find out all currents and voltages. Okay?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Whenever a current source is used in the circuit, the current in the circuit will always be the same, or the current through the particular source will always be the same?
Current through the source will be always same and equal to the value of the source. Current through the source.
Okay, sir.
Here it should be 2 amperes only.
You are absolutely right, because this will anyway make this current 2 ampere, and the same current must flow because there is only one path, there is no bypass. So here the current will be 2 ampere. Current will be 2 ampere everywhere. Okay, so that is obvious. Now, how much will be the voltage across this resistance? Next question.
8 volts. 8 volts.
That comes from Ohm's law. Okay?
Sir, I think the current source will give a negative voltage of 2 volt.
That's what we will see. Yes. And okay, 8 volt with this side positive, this side negative. Okay. Now, yeah. Now, if I ask how much is the voltage from here to here, that means across this current source, how much is the voltage? With
2 volt.
2 volt.
2 volt, or if I take this as plus this as
Minus 2 volt.
minus 2 volt. It will be minus 2 volt. Okay. So yeah.
Rather than plus or minus, can it be said that it is opposite to the polarity of the voltage source?
Yes, it is opposite. Yeah, in one sense it is opposite. Yes, but this is how you should represent it.
It is
in the
creating
drawing.
that excess 2 volt potential difference.
Yes, so you have to either write it minus 2 volt with plus and minus like this, or if you like you can write minus and plus here and plus 2 volt. Okay, either way it is fine. Acha. But now I have more interesting questions, and the questions are as follows. How much?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, does this current source maintain just the magnitude of current or even the direction?
Both. Magnitude and direction. Both.
So what would happen if we connected it in the opposite way? In the
If
reverse
the arrow,
direction current source?
if in this symbol arrow were downwards, then that would mean there will be a downwards current will also flow in the opposite
The
direction.
current direction will be opposite.
Okay, so it depends on this arrow direction. Okay, acha. So now some interesting questions. Power generated
Can
by.
you explain it again, sir?
Yes.
Can you explain it again when the arrow is downward?
Yes, I will. So let me copy and. Okay, in the same circuit, if I just change this arrow, okay, then what will happen? Then
that will be 18 volt.
2 ampere current will flow.
18 volt.
Yeah, 2 ampere current will flow in this direction. Okay, that means this current will be minus 2 ampere, or you can say minus 2 ampere here. Okay, now that would mean a voltage of 8 volt with lower side positive and higher side negative, okay, and that means this voltage should be how much?
18 volts, sir.
Here 10
Minus 18 volts.
18 volt with which side positive? Lower side positive.
Upside.
Lower side positive.
Side positive.
Lower side positive.
Okay, lower side, yeah. Okay, fine.
I think upside positive, no?
No.
Sir.
No, it's opposite current, -2 amperes.
Let's apply KVL. Okay, so let's check. If you start from here, wait please, if you start from here, then you see here there is a voltage drop of 18, then voltage rise of 10, and then so you are going like this, then another voltage rise of 8. So total 18 drop and then 18 rise, which makes 0 rise or 0 drop. So this is correct.
Yes.
Okay, so let's come to power.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you please explain the KVL again, please?
Okay, so let us start from this point and go round the loop like this, starting from here. Let's go like this. Okay, so from here, if I come at this point, then there is a voltage drop of 18 volt. Then from this point, if I come here, then there is a voltage rise of 10 volt, and then there is a another voltage rise. Okay, you see minus and plus. So if I come from here to another rise of 8 volt, so total drop is 18, total rise is 18, which cancels. Okay.
Yes, sir, got it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can we say there is an internal resistance of 9 ohm in the current source?
No. That's not what we can say. That you think.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha. Now coming back to this.
Sir?
Yes.
স্যার বলছেন যে আগের ছবিটা স্যার মানে ওই জান একটু আগের ছবিটা একটু
Okay.
আগের ছবিটা জান একটু স্যার আগের ছবিটা
Yeah, I'm there.
भाई इंग्लिश में बोल रहे भाई मैं भी समझ
This one or the upper
যে
one?
ইয়ে এই
You
18 ভোল্টেজের এই পজিটিভ সাইডটা উপর দিকে হবে না স্যার
No. You check at home. Upper side will be minus. Okay. And if you have doubt, you can ask me later again. Okay.
Sir.
Acha. So
Sir, can you explain what he asked me?
Yeah. So let me request all of you that you try to ask in English. No problem. I also make grammatical error. Not a big deal. We all will understand. No problem. You try. Initially, it will be difficult. It was also difficult initially when I was a student. No problem. You try. It will happen. Okay. What he asked is it's okay. We can skip it. Okay. Not very relevant at this moment. Okay. Acha. And one more thing. That is it's very encouraging for me that you all are asking so many questions. It is very encouraging me. This situation is extremely delightful. I previously have not got such a very interactive class before, so that's very encouraging. But also the fact is that there is a syllabus that we have to cover in time, because there will be an exam, common exam for all the students. Okay, so we have to cover these things also. So I request you to try to have a little bit of patience, because often your questions will get automatically answered. Okay, so you have also a bit of patience. Okay, and
Okay, sir.
yeah, and also if you require, I can give you extra hours for clearing your doubts. Okay, that
Yes,
won't, I mean, all students need not
Thank you very much.
attend those. I mean, only
Thank
if you
you so
have
much,
doubts,
sir.
you attend those.
Thank you,
doubts,
sir.
Okay, so that
Okay, sir.
yeah, in the main class we can cover the main syllabus, and
sir.
clearing your clearing your
sir.
doubts, we'll have extra time. Okay,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, here in this question, the current source, it also has some voltage. So can we say it is a voltage source?
No, the definition of a voltage source is that for which the voltage is constant and does not depend on anything outside. Okay, of course, a voltage, a current source will have a voltage across it. Okay,
Is constant voltage?
Sir,
huh?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, do current sources exist in reality?
Yes,
Means,
they do. They
sir,
do.
Sir,
Yes,
Sir.
they do. But
can
Sir.
current source sir?
sir, what happens on current source when we applied a voltage across it?
Sir, can I ask?
we will see. We will see soon. Acha. So current
Sir,
source.
but I was distracted.
Okay. Acha. Current sources exist in reality, but they are not easily available in market like batteries. So they are not
Sir.
that easily available. But electronic
can
current
I-
sources exist. Yeah.
Sir, can current source adjust its voltage to maintain current?
You can think in that way. For your understanding, you can think in that way. A current source is a voltage source which adjusted
Adjust
its
its
voltage
volt-
to maintain the current. Yes, you
Maintain
can
the
think of
constant,
that.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So now the question that I am asking, how much is the power generated by the voltage source?
Sir, 4 watts.
First of all, yeah, power is
20
of course, the product of the voltage and the current through this source. So voltage is 10
20
volt
watts.
and current is
20 watts.
2 ampere. So this
20
is
watts.
2 ampere into 10 volt, which is 20 watt, correct? And this is a power generated. Actually, I mean electrical power generated. Or to be even more precise, I mean that 20 watt of electrical power is generated at the cost of some other form of power or energy, chemical or mechanical power. So 20 watt of mechanical or chemical power is converted in 20 watt of electrical power by the voltage source. How do we know that? Because you see, this voltage source is pushing the positive current from lower potential to a higher potential. So it is pushing positive current or positive charge against its natural tendency, so from lower to higher potential. So that means it is generating electrical power at the cost of maybe chemical or mechanical power. Okay, now one minute please, let me finish this and I'll come back. Now if I ask how much is the electrical power generated by current source?
Sir, power is not generated, power is
4
consumed.
watt consumed. Consumed. 4 watt.
Okay, how do you, yes, you are right, you are right, you are right. So power is not generated by the current source because actually here we see that current is flowing from higher to lower potential through the current source. So that means electrical power is actually consumed. Okay, or we can say negative power is generated. We can say negative power is generated, which is 2 volt multiplied with 2 ampere, which is minus 4 watt. Or you can say that plus 4 watt is consumed.
Sir,
To be,
the power consumed will be positive in the resistance and the generated will be positive in the source.
Wait, I'm coming to that. Okay, acha. So now coming to the power consumed or generated in the resistance. So in the resistance,
16 watt.
always current
16
flows.
volt, generated. 16
Please
volt.
have your patience.
I
Please
saw
have
it
your
all.
patience. If you all talk simultaneously, then I mean, what happens? It's creating echo, and other students also will not be able to hear. So please have your patience. If you are so eager, I will give you practice quizzes. Okay, so that you can. I will give you. Okay, since you are so much interested, I will give you some practice quizzes, automated quizzes. Okay, so that you can check your understanding. Okay. Acha. Now coming to the resistance. So for a resistance, current will always flow from higher to lower potential. So in resistance, always power is consumed, or to be better, I should say, electrical power is consumed. In resistance, electrical power is consumed. That means converted into other forms like heat, etc. Consumed. And how much is that? That will be 8 volt and multiplied by 2. 8 volt into 2 ampere, which is 16 watt. And now you see that 20 watt is generated by the voltage source, out of which 4 watt is consumed by the current source, and remaining 16 watt is consumed by the resistance. Okay, so one of you were asking that, saying that by the source power is always generated. Actually, that is not true. As you can see here in the current source, power is consumed or negative power is generated. Okay, now if I try with different values of voltage and current, for example, if I let me do that. Okay, suppose I make this 8 ohm, I don't know what will happen, but you see something different may happen. Maybe this source will consume power or something. So let this be your homework. What happens? Who consumes power, who delivers power, etc. Okay, so this is your homework, and next day we will check your answer with my answer. Don't tell your answer now. Okay? Acha, fine.
Sir, resistance delivers power, sir.
Yes, repeat.
Does resistance deliver power? Means
No,
release
no,
power?
resistance can never deliver power. Because in a resistance, current will always flow from higher to lower potential. But in a source, what will happen, that we cannot say. That depends on other things also.
If there are two sources with opposite polarities connected in a circuit, one will consume and one will deliver power.
Or maybe both can also deliver power. That is also
Sir,
possible.
if there are opposite polarities, then one has to consume.
If polarity will be opposite.
Oh, if both have same polarity,
No,
then both
okay,
deliver.
okay. I will give you lot of such examples for you to try out on your own. I will give you self-evaluating quizzes. Okay, so you will see a lot of different variants. What happens? Very good. Okay, fine. Acha.
Sir, can you please repeat the homework?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Wait, the homework is in solve this won't be 2 volt.
It's in the
Something
slides.
different.
Sir will send it. In the
I will
MS
give
Teams.
you. So find out the voltages across all the elements, currents everywhere, and also who is consuming power, who is delivering power, how much are those powers, etc. Okay. Let me give you some more practice. Suppose there is this configuration.
Sir, I have a doubt in the previous question.
Go ahead.
I mean, if we exchange the 4 ohm resistor with 5 ohm resistor, then there is no power dissipation
Yes.
across the current
Yes.
source. And how is it possible? Like there must be resistance in the same ammeter, I mean the same current source. So in one case it is acting as an ideal one, and in another case it is consuming power. How is that possible?
Let that also be a homework. Very good question. So what happens when R equal to 5 ohm? Another homework. Okay, so you try all this out. Okay, acha. So let me proceed. Okay. Okay, so now
R equals to 5 ohm in that same circuit.
Yeah, in the same circuit. Yeah, this is R. Acha. So let us now learn some methods, general methods with which we can solve almost any electrical circuits. Okay, so let us learn some general methods. Okay. Suppose I have a circuit like this. Suppose this is 15 volt, 5 ohm, this is 1 ohm, this is 7 volt, and this is 14 volt, and this is 2 ohm. How to solve this circuit? Okay. The way we will solve, the method is called this mesh analysis. Okay. Let me tell you how to do this. First of all, you see that this circuit has some closed paths, several closed paths. One is like this one. I'm drawing in blue ink. Okay. This is a loop or a closed path. Okay. In the same way, here is another loop. Okay. So there are several closed paths. Now, basically I'm considering all the smaller closed paths which you cannot subdivide into further smaller loops. Now, what we will do is as follows. We will assume that there is a current, call it I1, flowing in this loop, and say a current I2 flowing in this closed loop. Okay? We don't know how much is I1, we don't know how much is I2. Now you see in this middle branch, both the current is flowing together. Okay? So therefore, in this middle branch, the net current will be I1 minus I2 downwards. Okay? So this is the net current flowing in the middle branch. Acha. Next, we don't know how much is I1, we don't know how much is I2. We will find out I1 and I2. How we will find out? For that, we will use KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, so first let me look at the left side loop. Okay, starting from this point, I will go round this left side loop and add all the voltages and equate it to 0. Okay, now you see starting from here to here, if I call this point A, then point B, from point A to point B there is a voltage drop of how much? Minus 2 ohm multiplied by I1, voltage drop. Then from point B to point C there is a voltage rise of 14 volt. Then from point C, this is C, if I come here, this is D, from point C to D, we have a voltage drop of 7 volt, because of this source, and then there is a voltage drop of 1 ohm multiplied by current I1 minus I2. So this is the total voltage drop in this loop, and according to the Kirchhoff's voltage law, this should be equal to 0. Okay, so from this we get a relation, if you simplify, which is like 3I1 plus I2 equal to minus 7, if you simplify this. Okay, any question here? Acha. Now,
Sir?
yes.
So if we exchange the position of 1 ohm resistor with 7 volt battery, then it does changes in the circuit?
No,
or
no.
not?
In this particular case, nothing will change. In this particular case, nothing will change.
But can we use this approach every time if we needed it? That we exchange the resistor with the battery?
Yeah, you can.
Like,
Okay. No problem. Acha.
Sir, it is plus 2I1. First equation.
No. I am considering voltage drop to be negative and voltage rise to be positive. So from here to here, A to B, there is a voltage drop. So that's why I'm. If you treat it, drop to be positive, then everything, all signs will change. Okay, I'm considering voltage rise to be positive and drop to be negative. Okay.
Sir, are we finding the potential difference between those C and D? Okay.
C and
Or
D.
the-
So from
Sir, what are we finding in this question? The potential difference?
in this question,
I1 and I2 we are finding.
in this
Following
this question,
Values
we
of
have to
current.
find everything, all the currents in all the branches and all the voltages across all the elements, all resistance, everything. Okay, so basically solve the circuit means find everything that you can find about the circuit.
So why don't we apply that parallel combination of batteries first to find the voltage across C and D, and then it will be much easier to deal with the latter.
Yes, sir.
In this case, it may be easier, but we are learning a general method that is applicable in even more complicated circuits. Okay, so in more
Yes, sir.
complicated circuits, that won't be possible. Yeah.
Sir, if we get 3 or 4 loops, then this method can be a bit lengthier. Then
Yes.
what to do?
But you have to do it.
If we get 3 or 4 loops, then there may be many equations in that case.
There may be many. So we will learn different methods. Some method will be applicable, easy for some circuit, and some method will be difficult for some. So you have to choose which method is easy. And sometimes all methods may be difficult, so there is no escape. Okay, so yeah. So we will always show you simple examples, but in homeworks we will give you complicated questions. That is our strategy.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, now come to the second loop. Now in the second loop, starting from point D, let us go around D, C, then E, F, like this, D, C, E, F. Then what will we get? We will first get a voltage drop across 1 ohm resistance, which is -1 multiplied by no, this is a voltage rise from bottom to this is a voltage rise, so +1 multiplied by I1 minus I2. This is a voltage rise from here to here. Okay, then another voltage rise of +7 volt. After that, across this 5 ohm resistance, there will be a voltage drop of 5 multiplied by I2, and then from point E to point F, there is a 15 volt drop. So this should be equal to 0. Now if you simplify this, you will get I1 minus 6 I2 equal to 8. Okay, so we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Now you can solve these two equations, and if you do that, I already did it at home, so you will get I1 equal to 2 and I2 equal to -1. Okay, now once you know these two values, this is equal to 2 ampere, this is equal to -1 ampere, now you can find out everything else that you need. Okay, for example, how much is this current here? That will be 2 minus -1, so that this will be 3 ampere. Then I can ask how much is the voltage drop across this resistance. That voltage will be 3 volt from here to here. Then I can ask how much is the voltage drop across this resistance. You can also find it, that will be 2 multiplied by
I1.
4.
2 times I1.
Yes. Okay.
So that is 4.
Now, so that means now you can find out everything about the circuit. Okay. So this is one example. Now, let me take a complicated example. Okay. So how many loops are there? 4.
4 may.
Yeah, 4 loops are there. Okay, now let me take 4 currents like this. In this loop I1, then in this loop. You can take these loops in any direction, but stay consistent with your calculations. Then I3, then I4. Okay, so this, once we find these 4 currents, then everything will be easy. Acha. Now, if this is I1 and this is
So
I4.
we can take a current direction which is opposite to the current source also. I mean, which is indicated by the current source.
Yes, no problem, no problem. You can take it.
But by the definition of current source, you didn't say that it always maintains that same direction.
So what will happen? This will be a negative current.
Answer negative
Answer भी negative में आएगा.
Okay, acha. So then this current will become how much? This will be I4 minus I1. Okay, I4 and so on. Now we have to solve this circuit. Now you see there are so many unknowns, 1, 2, 3, 4, but out of them you already know how much is I1.
-2.
I1 must be -2. Because of this current source, this must be equal to -2. Okay, so this is one thing you readily know. Okay, acha. Then similarly, what else can you say? Here, if you look at this current source, you can say I3 minus I2 equal to 3 ampere. Okay, so this is one equation, this is another equation. Okay, acha. Then what else? Then let us look at, say, this, let me call it A, B, C, D and E. Then if I look at the loop AEDA, this loop, then from this what can we write? We can write 20, so let me start from A, and there is a voltage drop of -20 ohm multiplied by how much? I4 minus I1. I4 minus I1. So this is a drop. Then here in the 5 ohm resistance, we will have another drop of 5 multiplied by 4 minus 3, right? I4 minus I3. Then in the 10 ohm, we have another drop, -10 multiplied by I4. Okay, this should be equal to 0. Okay, now this will give you, if you simplify, you will get -4 I1 minus I3 plus 7 I4 equal to 0. Let me call this equation number 3. Okay, acha. Then, so there are 4 unknowns. We got 3 equations. We need 1 more. Where can we get it from? Can we get from this loop 2? Can we get it from loop 2? No. Because if we want to write the KVL in this loop, then this 3 ampere current source will come, but we do not know what is the voltage across this current source. Okay,
You can take the lower triangle. Sir, lower 2 triangle
yes.
means 2.
So
we will go 20
large loop.
So we will take this loop. We will take this loop B, C, D, E, B. B, C, D, E, B. These lower 2 triangles together. Okay? And because if we take only the smaller triangles, you see some current source will come and we do not know what is the voltage across those current source.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, what did you take lower 2 triangles together?
Pardon?
Sir, what did you take lower 2 triangles together?
Why I took lower 2 triangles together?
Yes, sir.
Because I got 3 equations, but I need at least 4 because there are 4 unknowns. Okay, but now if I take any single triangle, okay, like loop number 1 or loop number 2 or loop number 3, then in all these triangles you will get some current source involved, and we do not know the voltage across any current source, so we cannot write KVL equations. So there is no way other than choosing 2 loops at a time. So we have taken 2 loops together. Okay.
Okay, sir, understood.
So now if I write the equation, say starting from node B, okay, there is a voltage drop across this 20 ohm. So minus 20 multiplied by I2. Then there is another 20 ohm voltage drop because of this voltage source. So minus 20 volt. Okay. Then across this 5 ohm resistance, there will be a voltage drop of minus 5 multiplied by I3 minus I4. Okay. Then across this 10 ohm voltage source, we have another drop of 10 volt. So they all together should be equal to 0. Now if you simplify, you will get, what will you get? 4I2 plus 3I3 minus I4 equal to minus 6. Equation number 4. Okay, so we have 4 equations, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and there are 4 unknowns. Okay, I1, I2, I3 and I4. Let me just tell you the final solution, because you can simplify it yourself, right? You can do it now?
Yes, sir. We can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so then
sir.
I'm just
Yes,
telling
we
you
will do it later.
the answer that I have got, if I am correct. I got, just a minute, I2 equals to minus 2, I3 equals 1, I4 equal to minus 1, and I1, how much is I1?
Sir, minus 2 ampere.
Sir, minus 2.
It is minus 2, of course. Yes, yes.
Minus 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I also got the same answer.
Okay, so you can solve it yourself. If you have any doubt about how to solve it, please drop me an email. I will talk to you personally if required. We will talk outside the class hours, no problem, if you have any difficulty.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is one way of solving general circuit problems, which we call the loop method or mesh method. Okay?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can we use star method here?
Star delta conversion. You can try. You can. I have not tried, but you can try. Why will not work? It should work. Acha. Acha. Next, let us learn maybe one more method. Okay, how to solve general circuits. And this method is called nodal analysis, or whatever nodal method. Okay, so here I have a circuit and we have to solve this circuit. We have to find all voltages, currents, everything. Okay, Achha, how we do it? We will do it this way. First, we will identify the nodes or junctions. Like here is one node. Let me call it node A, node, or let me call it node 1. Okay, node A, node B, node C, and node D. So you see there are 4 junctions or nodes where many branches meet together. Now, we will assume that there is some potential in these nodes. Like here there is V1 at node A, then here suppose the potential is V2 at node B, and here V3 at node C. We do not know how much is V1, how much is V2, and how much is V3. And also here you can assume V4. So we have 4 nodes and therefore 4 unknown voltages. Now out of this, all these nodes, we can always assume one node to have 0 potential. Okay, any node, any one you like. For example, I can take this node to have 0 potential. Okay, so this is at 0 volt. That is what I am assuming. Then there are only 3 unknowns, V1, V2 and V3, that we have to find. For that, we will use KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, at these nodes 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so suppose we first look at node A. Then let me find out how much is the total current entering this node. Okay, so here you see there is a 4 ampere current entering, okay, plus 4 ampere current entering, then 7 ampere current going out, so I write minus 7 ampere going out. Anything? Okay, Achha. So this here we have 4 ampere, here 7 ampere going out. Now consider this branch of 3 ohm. Okay, in this branch, how much current is going out? That is V1 minus V2 by 3. That is going out. Then through this 4 ohm resistance, how much is going out? That is
4 times
V1 minus V3 by 4. And that together should be equal to 0. Okay? Achha. Now, if you simplify this, you will get something like this. If I have done it correctly, okay, let me call it equation number 1. Okay, Achha. Then let us look at node number 2, sorry, node B. Okay, node B, and let us write the KCL equation at node B. First, let me consider this 5 ohm resistance. Through this 5 ohm resistance, current is, what is happening? Current is going out, and how much is that? Minus V2 by 5. This amount of current is going out. Then through this 3 ohm resistance, some current is coming in. How much is that? V1 minus V2 by 3. This is coming in through the 3 ohm resistance. Then this 7 ampere current is coming in, say plus 7. Okay, and then this is difficult, I guess. How much current is going out through this 10 volt source?
V2 plus 10 minus 3 upon 1.
Right. So this point is at V2. So that means this point is at potential V2 plus 10. Okay, this point is at V2 plus 10. So then V2 plus 10 minus V3 divided by 1 ohm. This is the current going through the 1 ohm resistance. Okay, plus this plus no, minus. This is going out.
Sir, can you repeat the node V line?
Pardon?
Sir, can you please repeat the node V line?
Load this line 1 ohm.
No, sir, this whole line.
Acha. Okay, so let me repeat. So first consider this 5 ohm resistance. Okay, through this 5 ohm resistance, current is going out from V2, from node V. Okay, how much is that? That is this V2 divided by 5. That is the current going down. Okay, going out, minus. Okay, acha. Next consider this 3 ohm resistance on our left. Okay, through this V1 minus V2 divided by 3 ohm, this much current is coming in. Okay, so that's why plus. Okay, acha. Then through this 7 ampere current source, 7 ampere current is coming in. Okay, so this is this branch. Acha. After that, consider this branch on our right side. Okay, through this, how much current is going out? For that, look at this point. This point is at potential V2 plus 10. Okay, because this point is at V2. So after that we have this voltage source. So this point is at V2 plus 10. And node C is at V3. So through this 1 ohm resistance, V2 plus 10 minus V3, this divided by 1 ohm, this is the amount of current going out. Okay, so this should be equal
Yes,
to
thank
0.
you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, if you simplify, you will get possibly something like 5V1 minus 23 V2 plus 15 V3 equal to 45. After that, let me consider node C. Okay, node C. Acha. Now in this node C, there is a 2 ampere current coming in. 2 ampere coming in. Then through this 2 ohm resistance, how much current is going out? V3 by 2 is going out. Okay? Acha.
Yes, sir.
Then through this 1 ohm resistance, how much current is coming in? That we have already calculated.
V2 plus 10 minus V3 upon 1.
3 by 1. And then through this 4 ohm resistance, how much current is coming? That is plus V1 minus
Sir,
V2.
it's coming, so it will, sir, it will be a plus sign.
Previous one will be
It's coming.
positive.
Sir, it should be positive
Yeah,
because the
this
current
one
is
should
coming
be
in.
positive. Yes, this one should be positive. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, yeah, this should be equal to 0. And now, if you simplify, you will get V1 plus 4V2 minus 7V3 equal to minus 48. So, okay, let me call this equation number 3. This is equation number 2. And this was equation number 1. So, there are 3 unknowns and 3 equations. And if you solve, you will get the values of V1, V2 and V3. Okay, so what I got is this. V1 equal to 2 volt, V2 equal to 5 volt, and V3 equal to 10 volt. That is the answer that I have got. Please check if it is correct. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's satisfying the equations.
Is it? Okay, fine. Acha, great. Next, let us take one more example. Possibly this is the last example for today. Okay.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
can you please explain what node G?
Node B.
E, sir, E.
There is node E. This is node C. C for cat.
Okay, sir, okay.
Okay, acha, let me repeat. Huh?
Can you please explain that once more?
Yes, I am repeating. Okay, so starting from this 2 ampere current source, current is entering. So we have 2 ampere, 2 ampere coming in. Then through this 2 ohm resistance, V3 divided by 2 is going out. Okay, so that is minus. Achha, then through this 1 ohm resistance, how much current is coming in? That we have already calculated previously here. Okay, so that this much current is coming in through 1 ohm resistance. And then from this 4 ohm branch, topmost branch, V1 minus V3 by 4. That amount is coming in. Okay, divided by 4. Is that fine?
Sir, can you please tell me how to identify whether it is coming or leaving in particular 2 ohm resistance?
Okay. So see, this point we have assumed it to be at V3, and this point is at 0 volt. Okay. So now you can say I don't know the value of V3. It may be positive or negative. So therefore, actually current may come in or come out. But we will not bother about that. We will assume, okay, V3 is positive. If V3 is positive, then V3 is higher than 0. So then current is going out. If V3 is not positive, then it will automatically, those values will become negative. No problem. So I have assumed V3 to be positive. So V3 minus 0 is going in this way. Okay. So don't bother that whether actually V3 is positive or not. I think that was your doubt.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir,
yeah.
If you have assumed that zero potential at point D, then why cannot the zero potential at point A and C also? Because there is a straight wire connecting these points. So it may be zero potential there.
You are talking about this wire through the current source?
Yes,
So like
at
he's
D,
saying we
it
can
is
assume
zero.
the node, the
Current
zero
source
node at any
potential.
point, right? Any node.
Yeah.
We
First
can
of all,
assume any-
no. First of all, you can assume zero node at any one point. Okay, but you cannot assume zero at multiple points. Any one you can assume, no problem.
Yes, sir, but you had assumed at D point. Then
Yeah.
Zero can also be at C because there is a straight wire connecting it.
Where is the straight wire?
Current source.
There is a current source.
There is a current source present.
Oh, yes, sir, yes, I got it.
But then all the values of V1, V2 and V3, they can be, they are not perfectly correct. They may not be perfectly correct.
Why?
Because we are assuming, we can also assume that there is a node 0 at C, 0 volt at C.
Excellent question. Excellent question. Right. So in this way, the values of V1, V2, V3 that we are getting, and in the actual circuit, the values that will be there, they may be different. But how they may be different? There may be a constant offset like this. Like for example, here we are assuming this to be 2 volt. We are getting it to let me tell you this way. So we got this 0, 2, 5 and 10. But this is also possible that this is actually say 5, this is actually 15, this is actually 10, this is actually 7. I have added 5 to all the nodes. Or this can be, I mean, you can add any constant value to all the node voltages. Okay, they are all equally valid solution. So in a circuit, actually absolute potentials do not matter. What matters is the potential difference. Okay, so on how much current will flow in any branch, that is governed by the potential difference between 2 points. Okay, so therefore actual absolute value doesn't matter. So therefore you may start with any other node as 0. The answer that we will get, they will be at a constant offset from our current answer. Okay, is it okay? So you may get a constant difference. Yeah.
Sir, is it possible that current can flow from low potential to high potential in this current source?
Yes, in some current source it may happen. You check it. It's possible. Even in voltage sources, it's possible.
Sir, here you have taken V1 greater than V3 potential.
V1 greater than V. No. Nowhere I have assumed whether V1 is greater than. Okay. I got your point. You are talking about this line, right? Here. Notes this part. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if V1 is greater than V3, then this current will be coming in. If it is not, what will happen? This value will become automatically negative. No problem. Okay. So these things are automatically adjusted. So if you assume V1 is greater than V3, then this current is coming in, and therefore I have assumed a plus sign. If actually V1 is not greater than V3, no problem. This value will be automatically negative. Okay. In fact, it is. In fact, this V3 is greater than V1. So it will be automatically taken care of.
Okay, sir.
Achha. So this is our last problem today. You see, this circuit is very similar to the previous circuit, except this particular branch is different. Everything else is same. Okay. So
yes.
Let us do this. Once again, let me assume this lowest node to be at 0 volt, and this point is at V1, this point is at V2, this point is at V3. And you can proceed in the same way. So you will write the KCL for node A that you do at your home. I'm not doing. I will start from KCL at B, node B. Okay. So what can we write?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, shouldn't we assume all the current directions in the very beginning, like before writing all the nodal analysis? Sir, because it may happen that if we assume that from node V2, the current is going out in the direction of 5 volt battery, and in the next line for node V3, we write that the same current going out from V3. So that may create contradiction.
Excellent. In this case, actually, I have chosen this particular problem to show that particular. I mean, what you are asking. Good. So let me proceed. Okay. So let me start to write the KCL at node A. Okay. I will start from this 5 ohm resistance, and then I have. You'll see what happens. Then there is a minus V2 minus V2 by 5 going out. Then through this 3 ohm, we have V1 minus V2 by 3 coming in. Okay, you can also say that no, this is actually V2 minus V1 going out. Same, you see, it's same. And then 7 ampere coming in. Then this crucial branch, 5 volt branch. Okay, now here how much is the current? We don't know. I mean, we cannot write anything because current through a voltage source can be anything. So here what we have to do, we have to assume a current, and let me write it here. Suppose a current of I is flowing from left to right. Here I have to be very careful and I have to assume it beforehand. So I am writing plus I going out. So minus I going out, okay, equal to 0, right? Acha. So then that is the KCL for node B. Next, for node C, what will we get? Let us do it from this 2 ampere source. So first 2 ampere coming in, then through this 2 ohm resistance we have V3 by 2 going out. Then through this 5 volt source we have plus I coming in, okay, and then through this 4 ohm resistance we have V1 minus V3 by 4 coming in, so plus equal to 0. Okay.
So will the answers be remain same?
Answers of this question and previous question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it will be same. I have done that way. Yeah, it will be.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So now one thing you see that so we got how many? So from the KCL of node A, here you will get one equation that you will do at home. Then here you are getting another equation 2. Here is another equation 3. But how many unknowns do we have? 4. Because 3 voltages V1, V2, V3, but this current I is also an unknown. We don't know. So actually, because of this particular configuration, we got one extra unknown current, but we got 3 equations. So how can we solve it?
Sir, we can write V2 plus 5.
Excellent. So you
minus V2 is equals to 5.
So you observe that there is one more equation that we are getting from this 5 volt source, which is V3 is equal to V2 plus 5. This is our equation 4. So now we have 4 equations and 4 unknowns, and you can solve this.